Oh, hello.
Flashback.
Yeah, this is
You get out of the way.
Glad I put a coat on for this.
So Kyle,
Where did Laura go? Laura!
Cal,
Okay.
why is Baltimore the best place on the planet to play? And in addition to your seat, where is your favorite place to be at the ballpark?
My favorite place to be at the ballpark was out there at shortstop.
Currently.
Currently, that's not a realistic thought. How do I answer that question? Baltimore was the only place for me to play. Grew up wanting to be an Oriole, and then against all odds, you get drafted by the team. Then against more odds, you get developed by the team, and then against more odds, you stay here the whole 21 years. So I don't know any different feeling. It's just I was really unhappy when we were moving from Memorial Stadium because I was really fearful that we'd lose the history of the Orioles. I got to play where Brooks Robinson played. Staying on that turf over there. But coming over here, you forget about Memorial Stadium really quickly. It felt like baseball had been played here before, and the reality is the Oriole history continued. So, but my seats right behind home plate might be the best seats to watch a game from. I mean, you get the perspective of the pitcher. Sometimes you can yell at the umpire, but no, it's just a good. I'm closer over there than we are right here.
What are some of the memories that are kind of flashing back to you now from the years ago?
Well, obviously, Bo and Raffy pushing me out of the dugout. I really didn't want to do that. I was thinking, but they kept saying, we won't get this game started, and I was super sensitive to that. You don't want to have Mike Messina sit. It was like a long rain delay, and then you'd lose your place. And I thought the game was important, and we should finish the game and then celebrate it afterwards. But then once they gave me that final shove, about 100 feet down the line, I could care less about the game again. It was that good of an experience.
Kyle, what has it meant to you to be more of an active participant with this organization ahead of this anniversary?
It feels really good. This young team is the developing team. I mean, Gunnar Henderson, for example, it's been wonderful watching him develop, learn the position of shortstop, make all these plays. I didn't check the last couple of days. He still got his airless streak going. Still 70 games without 70 plus games. But just watching him develop as a player, I think it's, and maybe to give him a tip or two about footwork or how you could make this play in the hole or this play up the middle. That's been very gratifying. And getting to know the guys. It's a bunch of really talented young guys, and they seem like they're little sponges that you could say things and they want to absorb it and they want to try it. So it makes me feel good.
Does it feel like it's been 30 years?
No. In most ways, no. But when I get up in the morning from bed, it feels like it's been 30 years. The memories that happened that night are, crystal clear. A lot of the things that you do in the baseball field, it's amazing how that comes back to you. But in some ways too, you got a different phase of your life, and you're moving into a different phase of your life, and you start to think, okay, I was a baseball player a long time ago, but I still have those memories, and I think the memories become more important as you get older. You look back, and for me personally, it's not the memories of getting the hit or something like that. It's a memory of being with your team, or it's the people that you did it with that really you remember.
How much have you enjoyed over the past 30 years, just hearing how much that night, how much that streak meant to fans and people in the city?
I analyzed everything when I was playing. I think I would have been really good at this era in analytics where you have all this data. But I analyzed everything, and sometimes to my own detriment. But trying to figure out the meaning of the streak, I just thought it was the right approach. And it was the approach that Dad said, come to the ballpark ready to play. If the manager writes your name in the lineup, then you play. It's that simple. So in order to do that, you had to focus on one day at a time, and you didn't allow yourself to really think about the meaning. But since I've retired, and I've heard different stories, I've been amazed that people have their own streaks and whatever they're doing in their lives. I mean, I can't tell you how many kids that had perfect attendance in high school or perfect attendance all the way through school, because of me. And I was wondering, maybe the parents might have brainwashed their kid into believing that. And I didn't want to tell them that I missed a few days of school. But Ernie Tyler, we just saw Jimmy Tyler. The Tyler family's been around, the Orioles for forever. And Ernie Tyler's 31-year streak of not missing a game, he broke it voluntarily by coming to my induction ceremony in Cooperstown, which was really cool. So just hearing the importance of showing up for something you love, I think that's how people related to the streak. I think that's cool.
Kyle, when you drove up to the ballpark that day, how were you feeling? And when you finally took the field, man,
I was tired as hell.
Yeah.
No, when it got close, and I can't tell you exactly when, I never ever thought that there was an end game, that there was a goal, or that I was going to break the record. I thought whatever happens, happens. Just keep playing, you approach the game the same way you always have, and those games started to add up. When everyone started planning for the celebration, then it put a finish line, on, and I kept thinking, God, I don't like that. What if I don't make it? And I started thinking all these things, which I had to put out of my mind and just play. I think the streak happened because I could physically do it. Mentally, I was able to overcome things and push forward. But when you put a finish line on it, there seemed to be expectations from everyone that there was pressure, and so felt like I wasn't sleeping as much towards the end. Coming to the ballpark that day, I just joked that I was exhausted, and I was a little burnt out. Was under the weather, but when 21:30 happened and it was over, and John Miller sat out there at the pitcher's mound, and we had a little conversation. When I went home that night, I knew 21:31 was going to happen. So it was. So then I knew that. I knew that everything was going to be okay. I wouldn't have to worry about that. So there was a sense of relief that, yeah, I got to the finish line.
Cal, I heard a story you told Ryan about a brawl, Orioles, Seattle, and you twisted your knee, and that was kind of a close call.
Yeah, that was probably the closest. I mean, I played through a herniated disc in '97. That was after the record was broken, and I say that that was probably the most selfish that I felt in my career. Sometimes I thought unfairly I was called selfish because I wanted to play. But during the '97 season, I herniated a disc in my back in July. And the doctor told me that I'd be out 6 weeks. That was a good run and all that kind of stuff. But we were good, and when you endure a rebuilding process and you endure the pain of that to get to the point where you're good, you don't want to miss out on good. And so I said, if I can play, if I can endure the pain, would I do any permanent damage to myself? And the doctor said, no, I don't think so. And that was the hardest thing to get through. I played pretty well, contributed pretty well. We pushed the Yankees back, in September, and we ended up winning the pennant. So that was great. The brawl in Seattle, Hasselman charged Messina after he got hit, after he had a home run. There was some back and forth, but I remember running in to help Messina. I'm thinking, okay, and it looked like he was okay, so I turned my attention to the whole Seattle Mariners dugout. And as I turned,